I've looked at Gab's and Julian's playthroughs. Like, I didn't watch them, but like how long they took. And I think Gab was at like 5.5 and Julian at 6 hours. So I'm assuming it'll probably take me 6 hours. At least. And considering I only... I feel like last stream was kind of long. I feel like last stream went on for a while. So hopefully we got through a decent amount. Oh my god, we left off on a cliffhanger. I forgot. Well. Are you ready?
I'll set up a vibe and you go for it.
I'm not great at words. I'm more of a dancer.
Song time?
Be honest. You can do it.
You cast a spell on me. Not literally, obviously. But I feel in summary, you and me are meant to be. 'Cause you put a hex on me.
Please, is this gonna get copyrighted?
To me directly. I'm not blaming you specifically, just that metaphorically. Shit, can someone help me?
It's okay. Okay, what are some of the things you love about her?
Oh, that's so pretty.
Hecate, with you there's so much to love. Oh, I'm not saying you're fat.
Did not just say that.
Okay, hold on.
Tell her something she doesn't know about herself.
Okay, T.
Sorry?
To me, you know you in rapture?
Ooh, good word.
Is your pallid skin, your lips are so thin, your love of books.
Asterian, I have but one thought. Why is it that you seem so distraught? Are you saying you're in love with me? You couldn't possibly.
We started 20 seconds ago. I'm crying.
Give it another go.
You've cast a spell on me. It's a feeling that's killing me. But let's say categorically, okay, T, it's just you and me.
Let her sing, I guess.
Hide from my reality. I can't help but think it's best that you.
Oh, this is really pretty.
Me.
Let the woman speak!
Joy. My want is to destroy. You will come to resent me. I'm truly fond of you. Yet now it appears that you love me. How can you be so sure? What is my allure? Tears are near certain.
I could never make you cry.
It's not my tears I fear. What if I lose you?
Couldn't. Oh, I feel so powerless.
Imagine.
Be crystal clear. Do you believe this love of yours shall persevere?
Okay, slay Hecate.
It won't disappear. My virtues are few, and if we see this through, the pain that we share may be too severe.
Oh, of course she sings my song better than I do.
Help me!
Stand back, there's nothing to see. Everyone move along, it's a car crash of a song.
But you're wrong, make no apology. See, she hasn't disappeared. She is standing right here.
I know when I
It'd be so
stand
mean if I snatched his
I
girl.
feel like such a freak. I know you feel that way too. You're not like other gods. My love, what are the odds that we're here? Us outsiders should cheer that we found each other.
Why didn't you open with that?
Oh, was that good?
I'm tempted, but what you're all telling me is nothing will go wrong, for it's destiny. Have you truly considered this carefully? Black magic takes a toll, and if you lose control, the cost is paid by reality. Is my
Bye,
heart
Kiki.
worth everything going amiss? I cannot protect you from the dark abyss, so don't dismiss.
Go be smart.
Just resist.
You think that I don't know the darkness inside of me.
You look so
the
cuddly.
Stars, but do you remember your history? I love the person I have become. You changed me. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me.
Very well, Asterion. I accept your proposal.
Can you lead? I ain't prepared for this.
My heart is a shiver so hard to describe. These feelings I feel coming up from inside. It's unexpected.
Yes.
I barely know what to do. All this seemed impossible, yet now it's come true.
I didn't expect for this to go this well either.
To begin. Coming out of the shadows has changed everything. To you, Grace and Freddie, how do I thank you?
I think you just did.
You trod the path well.
Okay.
You cast a spell on me.
Well, that was diverting. You
That was
felt
really
this
cute.
way the entire time, Asterion, and you said nothing?
I didn't think I was worthy.
Yeah, I
I mean,
also
look at me. I'm only, half a man.
start twitching a little whenever she says Astarion.
I only wish I had realized sooner we could have been more. As for you, Grace, I thank you for arranging this diversion, however it came to pass.
Oh, wasn't it written?
I don't get it. Didn't you know this would happen? Wasn't it written?
Of course it was. It was also written that I would be unaware of Astarion's feelings until he spoke them to me.
But you knew that.
I follow the rules. It is written.
Okay. I don't know how that works, but sure. I also just spilled water all over my chin. It's Freddie's idea.
You have Freddie to thank. It was her idea.
A mortal with a clever idea. How novel.
Thanks.
You will need to visit again in the future. There will be tea. Come, Astarion. I wish to speak of this further. And find an appropriate outfit.
Oh, she's so me.
Hey, wait for me outside, yeah?
How long are we supposed to wait? It's been over an hour.
Love
I'm
blossomed
sure
in
it's
the
fine, Grace.
unlikeliest
I
of
doubt the Mentor would
places.
break
I got
his
an
promise.
achievement.
So, when I tell you.
Whew! You still here? I'm sorry.
Also me.
Kate had a lot to say.
Everything okay?
Everything's okay, I hope?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was so wonderful. Kate just wanted to talk about feelings and that, which, neither of us are good at. Right, so, I suppose you want to know how Calliope broke into the reliquary that night.
She did what?
What?
No, we didn't know anything about that. Do you mean the night she died?
Oh, well, I thought you already knew. Yeah, the night Calliope died, she broke in somehow. Thing is, we know she didn't take anything or even touch anything. I just remember the alarms, and I chased after her.
How do you know nothing was taken?
How do you know Calliope didn't touch or take anything?
Kate knows everything in the reliquary, right down to the last.
I mean, if you've lived for like
She's
1,000
been looking, but
years
she can't
plus,
figure if anything was touched. It
you'd
makes
probably
her
know.
So mad not to know, and it made Athena pretty mad too.
Athena got involved?
Yeah, when Kate finally told her, Athena wants Kate to keep investigating, but it doesn't look good.
Didn't Moo want to see more of Athena? She should be here right now.
You chased Calliope, but did you ever catch up with her?
No. If I'd have caught her, I'd have brought her back and Kate would have gotten answers out of her. All I know is that she was hurt, bleeding bad, but I don't know why. I wanted to help her, but she got away in the fog. Then I ran into Medusa.
Yeah,
What?
boring.
Medusa?
Medusa!
Yeah. Well, she's not normally here.
I'm
I think
listening.
maybe she was chasing after Calliope too.
Did you say the reliquary has alarms?
It's like more
burglar alarms,
questions
cameras?
upon
Oh,
questions.
No, nothing like that. It just has a lot of protections. You know, magic.
I don't know magic, actually.
Oh, well, it's just meant to keep the dangerous stuff from being touched. It was set off, so something happened in the reliquary. We just, don't know what exactly.
How did she get inside?
Those alarms don't go off if someone breaks into the reliquary? They don't detect intruders?
Well, normally nobody does that.
Well, Calliope did. She got in somehow.
Well, she must have snuck in the back way. Where do you think I keep running from? Whatever Calliope did here, it was enough to set off the alarms. That's all I know.
Interesting.
What was Medusa doing here?
She was chasing after Calliope too, I think, but she wouldn't say why. I asked. She never got into the reliquary, though. She was just out here in the fog.
Couldn't Medusa have broken in like Calliope did?
Yeah, but I chased Calliope from the reliquary. If Medusa had been there, I would have seen her.
Would he have?
Athena knows what happened here the night Calliope died?
Yeah, Kate told her a day or so later, I think. We didn't know Calliope died that night, though.
What? Athena didn't mention it?
Nope. Not that that's weird. She's, well, she's not the chatty type, you know?
Yeah, but
She
you
came
would
in all quiet and cool, wanted to know who
announce
was here
the
that
death
night
of a
and what Calliope
muse.
might have wanted. She swore Kate to silence. Not me, though. Guess she's not as smart as Kate.
Why do I always look like a founding father when I don't push my hair behind my ears? Oh my god.
How could Calliope have been wounded?
It couldn't have been Medusa, like I said. She never got close.
But Calliope was wounded inside the reliquary?
That's where the blood was. We don't have anything that would attack anyone, though.
So someone else. But they did it inside the reliquary.
I mean,
If so, they vanished after.
so they must have gotten in. So were they there before? Girly Pop broke in? Or were they with her?
What relics are there? Maybe Calliope was looking for one, but couldn't find it before...
Yeah, that I'm not supposed to say.
Do you have the golden fleece, the shield of Zeus, the sword of Damocles? Is it suspended?
You know a lot about that stuff for a mortal.
So it's all real?
I can neither confirm nor deny any of that. All I know is that nothing got used and nothing got taken.
Okay, so nothing got used either.
This
Very
means Calliope
suspicious.
came here the night she died. This is where she was attacked.
But we don't know by whom.
We know Medusa was here. She might even have been involved.
She's super scary, but, you know she works for Athena, right? I thought maybe that's why she was here, but Athena said she didn't know about it.
That does seem suspicious.
If that's all you need, then I have to go. Kate will be so mad if she finds me gone. Good luck, Muse.
You okay there, friendo?
I'm so confused still to why won't my option change to the clever option. I think I chose, like, I think I counted it. And I don't think I chose kick-ass more often than clever.
Honestly, I'm furious.
And I don't know how
Someone
if
knew
those
she was here.
count.
They attacked her here.
And got away without Asterion seeing them.
I might never find out, Freddy.
Or if it's...
What if I go to Medusa and that leads nowhere?
If it's just
But
the
then,
song ones.
Someone
song
murdered
choices.
her and they might never see justice.
One thing at a time, Grace. You'll figure it out. I know you will.
I guess so. Next thing is to go back to Pan. Tell him his favor is done.
What an adventure.
Oh my god, right, this was a
You're
favor
just
to
lucky,
Pan.
Grace. Luckier
I
than
forgot.
you think. You go do what you have to, and I'll meet you back at the apartment, okay?
Pan! I hope you're here, because I don't know where else to look for you.
Of course I'm here, Grace. Where else would I be but amongst the trees and the wild things? I really must thank you, by the by. Asterion is simply over the moon, and he's already repaid me with this select tome from the reliquary.
Of course.
That's why you did all this? Because you wanted some book?
Not just some book, but a tome from the forbidden depths.
Okay, but what tome is it?
I doubt Hecate would be pleased.
Oh, most assuredly not. Neither would Athena, which makes it all the more delicious. I trust you got what you needed.
So does he have
More
beef with
grist
Athena?
For the mill of your innocence, as it were.
It's quite the coincidence. The place you sent me just happens to be the place Calliope was attacked.
That is quite the coincidence. You must be very grateful.
It's just hard to trust a coincidence that big.
You have no reason to be suspicious. I know nothing of what happened to Calliope at the reliquary. I suppose the question at the heart of this is, do you believe me?
He would look so good in Baldur's Gate 3. I agree. Not to get distracted again, but I thought of a new character. I think I want a tiefling. To romance Halsin. Anyways, focus.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? This tit for tat, back and forth.
I'll enjoy it if you're enjoying it.
Well, I'm not enjoying it.
Oh my, aren't you a delight? Even if you haven't answered the question, don't think I didn't notice. I've never lied to you, Grace, and I never shall. If you're
I
looking
mean-
for innocence, however, well, I'm afraid that's one thing I cannot provide.
What if I discover you're lying to me after all?
You'll do what you do, and I'll do what I do, and we'll see where that takes us.
The hair twirling got to me. I can't lie.
I hope it's somewhere good. Somewhere I'm not on trial.
Oh, my. You do know how to spoil the mood, don't you? If I can make a suggestion, live the high life. Throw caution to the wind.
That's your suggestion?
And why not? It's the same as when I first met you, Grace. You can enjoy being an idol. Simply follow my lead.
I have to make a choice? Now? Oh, that hurts. Not after the hair touching. Ah! Yeah, that's why I'm like, he's the first one. Is it like, do you think it's like, it counts, like, the amount of times that you flirted with someone? And then whoever... I don't know. Ooh!
Oh, why not?
See now, this is why I like you. Such a sense of the inappropriate. It is an ugly business living among the gods. You'll always twist an arm, even if you're trying not to. And so I say, let's do it. The world, it needs that guy who is prepared to move the pieces in from every side. All of the world's on the edge of a knife. So I choose partying. There's no need for strife.
Hi, Crescent. Welcome in.
Dance, little Gracie, come, won't you dance? Only so much of your life's in your hands. Haven't I helped you? The rest is chance. So come on, let's have this dance. So what, the call was close. We're both alive and well. We'll live to fight another day as far as I can
really
tell.
want to know
Even if you don't,
if I can accidentally romance the murderer.
promise you'll be glad you spent the night with me. So dance, little Gracie, come, won't you dance? Only so much of your life's in your hands. Haven't I helped you? The rest is chance. So come on, let's have this dance.
Do you really think I'm so hopeless? Or is it you who's afraid to show me how?
Oh yeah, I know the voice actor from a few different projects.
Don't be like that, Grace. We both know.
I think it's so fun to like recognize voice actors
So take it or leave it.
in your favorite
I
media.
won't repeat
Because
it
we don't normally see them, so it's like a...
for the dance.
I think it's like it's more of a...
You don't have any hope
Puzzle.
for me, do you? You're just taking what you can get before it's over.
I've seen this story many times, Grace. I've told this story many times. And it always ends the same way. You're hoping to find Medusa, I I'm just trying to be helpful, Grace. In my way. You'll find Medusa at a dingy little club appropriately named the Viper's Nest. Give her my regards. But do be careful if you call on her, Grace. Medusa is a hideous monster and should be treated as such.
Well, that was a little depressing, I can't lie. I'm gonna go talk to Freddy. I feel like that's gonna go quickest.
Hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse.
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
Oop. But I'm really enjoying this game. I'm actually enjoying this game way more than I expected to, because I'm not a huge musical person, but this is really fun. How have the idols stayed a secret? How are Kaz and Brian? What do you know about the gods? Let's check in on my friends, I guess.
What was Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
That's so funny.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer.
Oh my god,
Edge
they
of
could
Elysium becomes the
rename
coolest and
their
most
band
appropriate band
Muse.
ever.
Oh wait.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
I feel like that would be copyright infringement.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this
I
time,
love
nobody's
Freddy.
found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
I love all the
Okay,
characters
you
so
have
far,
real
really.
evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up, and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline: Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah. Right.
Are we gonna go talk to like conspiracy theorists?
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
Ask about Apollo.
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
I loved the Oracle. I loved how they, like, just didn't seem to give a fuck. They were like, what do you... Okay, Paul.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true.
I would like to know about the guy I just tried to romance.
You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him?
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil.
Okay, so just my kind of guy.
The only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
I will.
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9. Though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of
I love
wisdom?
how we're using Freddy
But
as, like,
mostly that's
Google
meant as
right now.
tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess.
Like, have you heard of Wikipedia?
She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She
Valid.
cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Okay, girl
Being
boss.
wise as advertised is on brand for her then. Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me? I'm more
They're
amazed at all the
infinitely
Olympians
smarter
these
than I
days.
am.
Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost. But also, what might still be out there.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? All those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols.
Okay, but
And that means they're hidden from each other, too.
now that we're
Everywhere,
amused, can we
and
not
no
ask
one
about
would
these things?
know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Like,
That's cool, right?
someone other than
I hope I get to
Freddy?
meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
Okay.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
Yeah, that was a lot,
Sure, I
girl.
can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery solving.
You know that thing, the tweet that's like, if you needed to talk for 30 uninterrupted minutes about a topic, to survive, which topic would you choose? I think Freddy would choose Greek mythology. I haven't spoken to Persephone in a while.
Oh, back already, are you? It's just as well. I've asked around, called in some favors, just enough to get an idea of what all the idols are currently up to. Much as I'm loath to admit it, I'm back to thinking Pan may be our prime suspect.
No! No!
Why Pan? I thought you'd rejected him as a suspect.
I think it'd be funny if
I
it was
did.
him.
It doesn't seem like his style. Pan has always preferred scheming over direct confrontation. But the thing is, how did he know about you so quickly? What does he hope to gain by sticking his nose in?
Okay,
A favor or two, I guess.
I do feel
Half
like
the
it's a
idols are in
little
favor.
obvious if it was him, though.
No, he's up to something else.
He's up to something for
Until I
sure.
know what it is, I can't discount the possibility that he's involved in all this.
But if he was...
Let me offer an alternative to your Pan theory.
If he...
What about Medusa?
So my sources are correct. You have been running around doing things on your own.
Yeah, maybe I should bring you up to date.
like,
Medusa was at the reliquary that night. You don't intend to
why
confront her
would
directly,
Pan
do you?
stick his nose in what Grace is doing and get into her direct line of sight as she's investigating a murder? I agree, honestly. Her cosplaying her would be so easy. In fact, this is exactly the way that I dressed for many, many years. I still have black skinny jeans in my closet somewhere.
You think I shouldn't? How else will I find out why she was there?
There's always a way,
I also had
Grace. Asking
black
someone
hair
directly
for many,
isn't
many
the
years.
only method. Confronting Medusa should be your last resort. For now, I'd say looking into Pan's involvement is more important. I want to send you to a party, Grace. One Aphrodite is holding.
Slay, I'll
She
go.
and Eros know Pan perhaps better than anyone. If you go, it'll give you a chance to find out what he's really up to.
You know, I'm happy with romancing him because I like a little bit of like, did my lover kill someone storyline kind of thing.
Why a party? Couldn't I just go wherever she lives and ask her?
You could, but if you go to this party, she'll be grateful. She holds it from time to time and always asked Calliope to attend, but Calliope never would. You can put two and two together. A grateful Aphrodite might be willing to tell you what Pan is really up to.
It's true. I do like my romances to be a little unhinged. Like, what's the fun in it if it's just like real life, you know?
Wouldn't it be better if I checked out Medusa instead?
So you somehow discovered where to find her?
I have my ways.
I won't stop you, but the party is a better place to start.
Okay.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
She and I don't get along.
Like how
I
you
feel
and
like
Apollo don't get
Persephone's
along?
outfit would be
Even more
such a
intensely than
dope
that.
cosplay as
I
well,
once
though.
said some things about her husband.
And I feel like
They were
also
true,
relatively
but
easy to
unwelcome.
pull off.
Suffice it to say, if I showed up at Aphrodite's party, revealing Pan's secrets would be the last thing on her mind.
One wild party with a goddess of love coming up.
It's less of a wild party and more of a somber affair.
You mean like a cocktail party?
Let me put it this way. Apollo will...
Please tell me I get to pick the dress. Or the, like, the
Expectations
fit.
of fun, downgraded consent.
And I don't have to go in my
I'll let you know what I find.
everyday outfit. Oh, do I have to pick between Medusa's lair and Aphrodite's party? Okay, well, I'm gonna go check on my journal real quick. Oh, I am obsessed with Medusa's design. She looks really cool. I'll go to the party. I just want to go to a party. I don't know if like I have to choose, but I'm gonna go here first, and then I guess we'll see if I can go to the other event after. Can this man button up his shirt? Of course, we show up
Bunch of strangers? Check.
in our
Gracefully
like
not dressed for the occasion?
leather jacket and docks.
Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace? You're here.
Yeah, I'm invited, aren't I?
I'm just surprised you even knew it was happening.
Persephone said I should come to this. Whatever this is.
Persephone didn't tell you? Why am I not surprised?
Do you do cosplay? I've always wanted to try, but I feel like I'm not. I don't know. Like I'm not great with arts and crafts. Mainly not because of like a lack of talent, but mainly because I take forever to do things, and also I have the tendency to abandon projects when they take a little too long.
I came to see you, Apollo, and I don't recall you mentioning it. Persephone said it could help.
That's cool.
You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right?
I love seeing people's
No
cosplay.
Deja vu, recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
Okay. Why won't it let me pick? I've picked the clever option so many times.
Seems like the sort of thing you should tell a new idol.
New idols are usually chosen. You would know about this already, except...
Except Calliope was murdered.
Well, remember how old we all are.
Yeah, she didn't get the
There are
intro
so
tutorial.
many memories. So the veil lifts gradually to protect you.
Hi, Amanda.
Eventually, it's like a flood.
Welcome,
It
welcome.
becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
This is Apollo. she literally did not get to watch the orientation film.
you're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace. Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but most of us were chosen and prepared.
And I didn't choose this.
And I mean, she'll live for quite a while.
Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
Okay. What, so he can see inside the PC? See, Apollo from, like, is not necessarily my type, but, I think him and Grace get along really well, and they've also spent, like, a significant amount of time compared to, some of the other romance options. So I did consider choosing him. Oh, isn't it so convenient that this is a game about Greek mythology and you're literally in Greece right now? Crazy. Oh, that's a good number. I like that.
When you say she's gonna pass on her eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
In front of everyone?
We're here to
like
help Grace, to make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye, at least for a while.
Okay.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift...
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much. We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
Oh, that's awful. Also, why would anyone want to be Aphrodite then, if they know that that's how it's going to end for them?
Wait. Persephone said Calliope always refused to come to these parties.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a...
I mean, it's not really like about whether or not he supports it, because at the end of the day, it's Aphrodite's choice.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war. And eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
Real.
Okay, so what did Aphrodite want Calliope to do? What does she want me to do?
Well, knowing Aphrodite, she'll want you to make a production of it all. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Mingling.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax.
You know, Persephone was right when she said the party was somber.
That's what this party is for, right?
Because everybody's very, calm. The music, honestly, it's kind of giving spa. Not Harry Styles.
Grace!
Hey, Eros. Nice to... Oh. Okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much, you have no idea.
Adorable.
Are you okay?
He's probably sad.
You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
Okay, now he's suddenly sorry for unloading. But at the club, he was like spilling all of his feelings to Grace.
No, it's okay. It sounds like a bad situation.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know much about it, would you? I take care of Aphrodite. Ever since we came to the New World, I'm with her. Every single day. I'm there for the nightmares, the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And
But why only her?
Again.
Because the other gods have gone through traumatic things as well. He really is in a sad boy era. Like, all of the other gods, I'm sure, have, like, have experienced really, really difficult things as well. Sorry, my blinds are moving again. I need to figure out how to, like, stop it, otherwise the light keeps flickering. Hold on. Oh, actually, I think that works. I just put one of my plants in front of the blinds so that they like stay against the wall.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
I mean, I was about to say, like, I can't ask her. She's literally about to die. I don't think she wants to spend, like, the last, I don't know, minutes, hours of her life talking about the traumatic experience that has caused her to pass on her duties.
If I know what she was dealing with, I might be able to help.
Could you? I suppose it wouldn't hurt. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see. So he was down.
Ah, damn, Moo should be here.
He found some jack-booted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy. And he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they...
He looks like he would give excellent hugs.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
No. Should I?
You don't?
God of
Girl.
smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told.
They were too frightened, but
Nothing
they
too
were also
extreme.
determined to wring
You're
everyone's
describing
secret.
torture.
So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
What path did I choose? Okay. Because of the way that you phrased it. Does that mean the very first choice that I made is, like, I'm stuck with that? Because I was under the impression that it would, like, flip back and forth based on my choices during songs. But I went with the first choice that I went with was Kick-Ass, which is the only option I've gotten so far, and I've been wondering why I haven't been able to, like, switch over to Clever. Is it just not possible? Is that the problem? Okay, so it does flip later on. Good. Nice. Because I do, like, I like the kick-ass option sometimes, but it's not where what I gravitate towards personally, I think. So I kind of regret that.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together.
Oh.
But now he's all she can think about.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. But for a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until...
How much time
I hate it, but I see her
passes
agony.
in
I can't deny
between
this.
the different Aphrodites? I mean, it is like suicide.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this, like, suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die. For a while.
What is my part in all of this? I'll help if I can.
Aphrodite loves drama. She always has. She wants us here to... Well... to
Oh, if she
remember,
loves drama, I can
to
give her
celebrate
drama.
our history.
I'm the muse of song.
She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
Yeah.
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that, deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
Yeah, Amanda. Yeah. Basically. Oh, and for reference, this voice cast, like voice acting cast is stacked. Grace is voiced by Laura Bailey, who also voiced Abby. Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker are in this. And like a bunch of other really famous actors and voice actors. Like, it's kind of crazy, the cast that was part of this. She does rap sometimes. The first time that she rapped, I was like, oh no. Oh god. Here we go. I'll do my best. What if... Oh.
What if you're wrong? What if she decides not to do this and it keeps getting worse?
Then I'll be with her to help her reach the other side.
If she can.
Yeah. If she can. It's a lot to ask.
I just want to hug him.
I'll understand if you
Please
can't.
let me hug him again.
All I want, one way or another, is to get through tonight.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
I need to stop scratching my mosquito bites. I have one like right here. And it's driving me nuts. Although this one's like really new. I think this happened in like the past couple of hours because it wasn't there this morning. And it's not massive and bruised yet. ADHD goes brrr literally all day. I get distracted every 5 minutes. Oh my god, why is it so fucking hot in here? Hold on. I'll go open a window. Okay.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
I mean, I think we've
Are
established
family gatherings
that he doesn't
like
like
the sort mortals have?
parties.
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes,
I
I feel
assumed.
very much out of place.
Listen. The ADHD has been bad lately. Bad.
Why is that exactly? Wouldn't you feel more like you belonged after 1,000 years together?
Is your assumption that all those centuries bring great wisdom?
Don't they?
We get older. We have more to forget. We hold grudges longer.
I was about to say,
Wiser.
I feel like the longer you know someone for,
Not so far.
the more opportunity there is for, like, both of you to have made mistakes that are, like, unforgivable in a way. Because, like, imagine if you know someone for, like, 1,000+ years. That's, even when they've never done anything egregiously bad, that's still so many little problems that you've probably gone through that you always, in a way, hold on to.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble, piece by piece, only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
That was real depressing. I guess we'll wait for Aphrodite.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you.
She has that Anastasia modern
my
Renaissance
ghostly
eyeshadow palette.
Dared I hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh! What manners I have.
Venus!
Grace, Grace. Meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus. And yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
I love her!
Hi. I have to admit, it'll be weird watching this happen the, proper way.
Because I'm chosen?
Yeah. I wasn't. Not like this, anyhow.
Yeah. Lady Aphrodite told me. I'm so sorry. That sounds awful.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be... a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
I have to admit, it's not clear what my part in all this is supposed to be.
How could it be? You've barely just arrived, darling girl. How did you even find out about it?
That would be Persephone's doing.
Apollo! Oh, you've come after all.
You look remarkably well, cousin.
I've had a great deal of time to prepare. I assure you that would not be the case. As for you, Grace, have you gathered the true purpose of tonight's gathering?
Uh-huh. Oh, that's so mean! It's so mean that it's locked behind clever.
I don't know. You like parties? Seems like a great excuse for one.
Oh, that sounded a little more vicious than I
do
anticipated.
Like parties. The orgies of Rome were... they were exquisite. A sea of flesh and sweat and delights for every sense. Or perhaps it was a pleasant dream I once had. I can no longer tell. Tonight isn't about frivolity. Oh no. It's about honoring the memory
It literally did
of
call
what
me
once
stupid.
was, while I yet retain it. Go! Enjoy the gathering, Grace! Tell me when you're ready to begin.
Venus is so cute. I want to talk to her.
I should apologize, Grace. Saying that I was chosen like I'm somehow more special, I really didn't mean it that way. I hope you can... I'm sorry. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever be ready. You can be willing. And you can be willing to adjust and learn. But I don't think you can ever be, like, actually ready for what's to come.
Being a god isn't something you can really be ready for.
I mean, you are not gods, though. Are you? Not really.
You don't think so?
To me, you all just seem like people. Special people, sure, but flawed and lost, like the rest of us. If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
Not really. I still felt like me, if that's what you're asking.
I mean, you don't know how
You didn't
long
remember
though.
Anything about her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
Your name is really Venus.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks
It's
me
literally
that.
perfect
Even the
for
other
Aphrodite.
idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
You know, when I was a teenager and I was writing like fanfics and stuff, I would always name my OCs Venus. I think I've always had an obsession with astrology and like astrology, astronomy, even before I kind of was like conscious about it. Hi Lauren, how was work? Oh my god, that's so true. Venus does have a rose tattoo. And that's a symbol of Aphrodite. She literally was destined to become Aphrodite.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that.
Oh, it's very obvious
Yeah.
why Aphrodite chose
she came
her.
back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she's taken an interest in me instead.
I feel like Aphrodite seems like the type of person that would really appreciate people coming up to her and being straightforward.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter.
I
knew
agree.
something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Arrows called me
Her
when I was
eyeshadow
desperate.
and lipstick are so
She
good.
wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
I mean, I support her 100%.
I get that you want to help Aphrodite, but do you really want to be her? To be an idol?
At first I thought, wow, this is too good to be true. Who wouldn't want to be a god? Later I realized they're not all powerful. They don't know everything. They're lost. Do I want to be that? Will I be that when the memories return? I don't know.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
I love Venus. I think Venus is my favorite, like, side character so far. I guess I'm gonna go talk to Apollo again, just in case he has something else to say.
Back again.
Okay.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
Not surprising. Surely Persephone must have realized that.
How? She's never been to one of these
I
things.
can't wait to play this game again.
Anyway, I'm not sure what I'd do now.
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which
Just
point
to see what
Venus
the
won't have
difference is.
Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
I could melt it down instead? I could, actually. That's a good idea. I should try that. He did? Good man. Pat him on the head. The plot has advanced a little, yes. Oh god, what have we found out? So, Asterion and Hecate are now in love. I attempted to romance Pan. Medusa got introduced. Although we haven't spoken to her yet. And it turns out that Aphrodite has really, really bad PTSD and keeps remembering the war and how she was tortured. And she's now passing on her powers to another human being who will then become Aphrodite. We just met her. Her name's Venus. She's very sweet. So, yeah. Aphrodite is like reliving her trauma over and over. It's like after a certain, like you become Aphrodite and then after a certain time, her memories of those traumatic events reappear. And it's like, it becomes too much for her, so she's just choosing to die pretty much and like pass on her duties as Aphrodite to somebody else, kind of the way that Calliope did with Grace.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. a more worthy person.
Yes, Venus is the new Aphrodite.
People who are, I don't know.
It's a
more
girl with
resilient.
I suppose that depends on your
pink
definition of strength,
hair
Grace.
that you just saw.
I should get back out there.
Okay, I guess we'll begin the ritual.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here, to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided.
Let's go.
We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love.
Oh, I already know the song's gonna slap.
But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen.
Yeah, we just spoke about the Venus Aphrodite thing.
We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. We sought shelter from the shadows, but were soon ripped from the dark. Those mortal souls that ended us were jealous from the start. They hunted me for power to fuel their psychopathic cause. And once they fell before me and worshipped all I was, they chased
Oh, I
me
love
down
this song.
and threw me in a cage, held me prisoner for so long. I thought I'd win their hearts again. I was wrong. I was wrong. I see you have the power. It's a poison.
I actually kind of regret that last choice.
My virtues only scorned me when I was once adored. Loved by every mortal, then ripped from paradise. No one suffered greater till he made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
This whole sequence is so pretty.
Believe what I'm hearing today. If your story stops there, I've nothing to say. I can't imagine. I feel like a child who grew up too fast.
Okay, call out.
What good is a flame when everything's ash? I can't imagine.
There's no excuse but mortals can tell.
You know.
There's no sweet release, it's ongoing.
You know.
Everyone's here to bid me farewell. Can you imagine?
I can imagine.
This really happened. I won't let you weep. You know it's too late.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
Pity my fate. My memories won't let me be.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment.
Step forward, sweet Venus, my angel. You know what to do. Though I live forever, for now I'll be inside of you. And while I'm sleeping, you'll be my soul guardian. Would Hephaestus thank you for your sacrifice? Would he light a candle and still fight the fight? How do we get through the night?
Lost in a moment, lost in a song.
Sorry, Eros.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment. So much suffering here. Our queen deserves mercy, that much is clear. And in the blink of an eye, lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song.
Lost in a moment. Lost in a
Okay, Troy?
Lost in a moment.
That was
Are you?
amazing.
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I'd feel her presence, but she's just gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be different.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
Oh my god! Girly Pop, not the time! I was promised help, Jesus.
I'll help if I can. If I'm still, you know.
I would really like that, Grace.
I honestly hope you get the chance. The fact that you came, it meant so much to her. And to me. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
I am on day 3, yeah, I think so.
Medusa, possibly. She followed Calliope to the reliquary the night of the murder.
So that's where she went. Calliope came to see Aphrodite and I that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why. She said she had a plan. It must have been the reliquary.
What kind of plan?
A plan? A plan for what? What could she find at the reliquary that would help her?
Maybe she wanted a weapon. Something to defend herself with.
But she got inside and didn't take anything.
Even Hecate doesn't know what she was there for? I thought she knew everything.
I'm afraid I can't be much help, Grace. Few have access to the reliquary, and I have no idea even who they are.
Hecate would know, but
if
like
Medusa was there,
I don't know if she
I'd
can do
suggest
anything
asking
about
her
it.
how and why. Lady Aphrodite was always suspicious of her true motives.
Come now, Venus. It's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Thank you for everything, Grace. Truly, it was a wonderful song.
So,
You honored
did they have
Aphrodite's
anything
decision
helpful?
to let her find peace.
Medusa. That's a rather dark name to unearth. Are you thinking of seeking her out?
Why are you so sus,
How
Apollo?
else will I find out what she knows?
You need to be careful, Grace. Medusa is not to be toyed with.
The way he was just
Athena
standing
employs
there,
her as a spy master, a
staring.
hound to do her bidding, a vicious hound at that. Athena's not likely to tell either of us where to find Medusa. I can't say for certain who would know. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
Ooh.
What you said earlier about Calliope's memories coming back.
That wasn't how I wanted you to find out. I'm sorry. If I might suggest, speak with Persephone about it when you get a chance. It might be good for you.
You think she could help? Persephone?
Persephone and I have our problems, but I can't deny she is insightful.
At this point, I feel like I'm bouncing
I
back and
might do
forth
that.
between
Thanks.
Apollo and Persephone.
So, I have a question.
Oh?
I had an encounter with Pan before the gathering, and he spoke of you fondly. Am I correct in believing there's something there?
Literally a child of divorce. Apollo, why are you asking? Oh, why are you asking? Oh yeah, I did try to romance. I don't know if I said that, but I did try to romance Pan earlier. I'm assuming that's why Apollo's asking.
I really don't get him. Hot one minute, cold the next. You can never tell where he stands on anything.
It's none of my business, but no matter what I've said of Pan, his feelings run deep.
Oh.
Don't underestimate him, but also don't write him off. Not yet, anyhow. Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
And the thing is, hi Vanilla, welcome. The thing is, like, it was the first, like, romance choice that I was presented with.
Apollo, always so dramatic.
And I
Well
did
done, by the
say
way.
last stream that I would want to
Aphrodite,
romance
you
Pan,
shall be
so...
missed. For a few years, at least.
Why didn't you tell me what it was really all about?
The party? Or the veil lifting, and Calliope's memories eventually returning?
Yeah, either.
Yeah, you were summoned by the
It's not something
simping.
you can prepare for. I thought this was the best way. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug. A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved me from him. Tore his head clean off. But not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Whoa.
Do you remember who you were before?
I still am her. Chastity, that is.
Real.
Easy way I switched
Lotta, so real.
Oh, I remember being disgusted I was ever that weak.
I also only enable, never disable.
Strong. But it never really goes away. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
So she's only been a god relatively recently. Wait, I can still romance? Are they... Hold on. Is it because Pan rejected me? I mean, I will. I'm just, like, surprised.
You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be facetious, Grace.
You don't have to meet.
No.
You don't have to tell me twice.
And what of Pan? Is he also incredible?
Oh my god. That backfired so hard. Please, you can't do this. I have asthma. Is it? I feel like it got really hot in here all of a sudden. Yeah, honestly, dude, Pan must be down fucking bad for him to go around telling everybody.
Why would you ask me that?
You are not as difficult to read as you believe, Grace.
Oh lord. What is it? It's glitching. No, that's not true. He's voiced by Carrie Payton, who is objectively like the hottest voice in history. Anyone who's watched Critical Role knows this.
It's different. He's fun. You know, he gets me. Or at least sometimes I think he does.
How thrilling for you.
Oh,
At
wow.
any rate, you've only one place left to look.
Good thing I know where Medusa is.
She's
Well, that doesn't
pissed.
thrill me. Whatever you get up to, Grace, don't be stupid.
Listen, you know, I don't understand why I'm being made to be the bad guy here. Pan never asked us, like, asked me to be exclusive.
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
Grace, of all the places to run into a friend.
Pan, what are you doing here?
Speaking of the literal
I'm the one
devil.
Who told you about this place. You didn't expect my curiosity to get the better of me?
You aren't just curious, Pan. Why are you really here? The truth this time.
I need to have some dastardly ulterior motive other than to be of assistance. For shame, Grace.
Uh-huh.
It's true. I am a bad man, and I spoke poorly. I did not, however, want you wandering into this without advice.
Really? You had a different version? Did you romance Freddy? No, you said that you romanced Apollo. So it's not about that. Interesting.
If you have any advice, Pan, I'm all ears.
Well, I assume you know how Medusa became what she is.
Apollo mentioned it, yeah.
It is a sad, sad tale. Athena cursed her. A travesty of justice if there ever was one. Thing is, Athena no longer has the power to undo the curse. Or so she says.
Weird.
What I'm trying to say is that Medusa is not happy about it. Perhaps that's something you can use.
Medusa is the one who turns people into stone just by looking at them, right?
People, yes. Idols, not so much. Or that's my assumption. I'll admit to not knowing if she's ever turned her gaze on one of us.
I could go in there and boom, statue time?
Maybe. Probably not.
Apollo said she's some kind of spy master for Athena. Is that right?
A truer description, I'd say, is that she's more Athena's servant.
Boo!
Poor thing can't survive on her own. So she's become whatever Athena needs. Spy master, enforcer, provider of garden statuary.
She sounds terrifying.
More importantly, Grace, she's clever. Medusa will be no simple target.
Medusa's clever and works for Athena, but what's she really like?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the only thing that I've been hearing is that Athena is objectively terrible.
Medusa is an enigma to most of us. If idols hide in the shadows, she lurks in even darker places. She's an outsider, and she loathes us as much as she needs us.
Is she dangerous?
Let's just say we're all rather relieved she stays away.
Mean.
Okay, enough talking. Time to do this.
See? That's the spirit. Now there's simply the matter of getting you in before she's aware you're here.
And you'll help me with that?
As best I can, certainly. Though I do hope you have some kind of plan. A word of advice before we proceed.
I don't.
Once you find Medusa, make the number a knockout.
Use a distraction. Find another entrance. I'm gonna find another entrance. I mean, I feel like a distraction could very easily backfire. I think when you find another entrance first, and if you can't, then you can use a distraction. Like, you have to think of it in order of, like, logistics.
You didn't have to follow me up here.
Nonsense. I'm helping.
Well, can you help me pick the lock on this skylight?
Do I look like some vagabond cat burglar? It's bad enough I scuffed my trousers during the climb.
That my kind of
Far
man.
be it for me to question you, Grace, but are you certain this is wise? I rather thought we would use our wits to gain entry.
I don't recall you having any suggestions, Pan.
You were so eager to start climbing the walls, I didn't want to discourage you.
Listen, I like the I like heists.
On the way up.
What can I say?
I can make the best of any situation.
I like breaking and entering.
And there we go. Coming?
We're both going to regret this.
Probably. Let's split up and look around.
Why wouldn't you like him? He's amazing. I like shady people.
Who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your
I love her.
and take your seat. It's the muse. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite.
Her little snakes in her hood.
Before you start the show, Pan said to say hello. That's what he said to say.
Well, any friend of Pan's is a friend of Pan's.
Okay. I hate to interrupt your flow. There's just some things I need to know. I wish there was another way.
Yes, you do. Now, look into me. Your body goes freely every time as it tenders, turning jelly as it renders.
That's
What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace? Where's the game face this time? You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Cause this time I find dine that oozy musy bloods my wine this time. Look into me. Oh, she's looking away. Hey, look
You flipped that hood. Then out came the snakes. You're so good. Finally, some steaks. Oh, the ice thing.
this is so trippy.
What a difference an actual monster makes. Athena made you like this.
She was mad at me. So,
Well, why was she mad?
she said I'd been bad.
Had you been?
No. Now look into me.
Listen, Medusa. She hides you in shame, but she uses you all the same.
Ooh.
You could live another way. If I was treated like you, I'd be a monster too.
That's kind to say, but you could never
I think this is my favorite sequence in the whole game.
be like me. You didn't kill
Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know. You know, does that mean Athena knows?
No. Okay. It's dinner time. You're not gonna watch? Fine grace, I'll taste.
Just like fate made you, fate played me. Just like
Fate played you like fate played me too?
I see when you look at me. Don't look at me.
Whoa.
Stop it! Stop it, Pan! You have no right to interfere.
I'm gonna kill him!
It's been a long time since I played these. Good to know the old pipes are still warm.
What the heck did you just do?
Snake charming. Medusa can't help but be enthralled.
Rude!
How dare you invade my sanctum?
Oh, I see.
It was going so well. Don't
Prefer I
interrupt.
resume playing?
You ready to talk?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
You were at the reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
But you were there that night.
Yes, yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might
Athena
think
does
of me,
not sound
I
like a
had
nice
no
fucking
part in Medusa's
person.
death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
Astarion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
Oh, that seems rather unlikely. The bull's as gentle as a lamb.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. But she did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me. You followed Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble.
Okay, so it was on...
Trouble enough to keep an eye on, hmm?
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
So...
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the muse fleeing. She was frightened, blooded, dying.
A tasty snack for you to hunt down.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
You haven't told Athena any of this?
Now, don't make me charm it out of you, my dear.
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected...
Hi, Essie. Thank you so much for the 6-month resub.
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
Oh, wait. I think you got a new badge.
One that conveniently paints you as innocent.
You presented
Pretty.
an opportunity. To taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a I've been working on it, I really have.
Oh, Medusa.
Well, what of you?
I love her.
The only reason I knew Calliope was going to the reliquary is because you informed me.
Well.
Oh, is that so?
It is true.
Got him!
But Grace, I can explain.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you can. Let's put a pin in that for the moment, shall we?
I am a monster. It's true. I do not deny it. It's still, I did not kill the muse.
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
This is my delusional playthrough.
Muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Mercy? You mean like the mercy you were gonna show me?
Oh.
I am a lost and
I
cursed
didn't really want to pick that, actually.
no idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth,
I'm not gonna tell. If I have the option. Fuck Athena.
I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Got another trophy.
Now, before you say anything...
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
Well, yes. She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I never lied to you, Grace. I said I didn't know what became of Calliope at the reliquary, and I didn't. But I wanted to, so I nudged you in the right direction.
And lied about why?
I omitted things, yes. Much like dear Medusa, I was rather hoping to avoid suspicion falling my way.
I've never lied to you, Grace, and I never shall.
I am trying to help, Grace. In my way.
You can break up with him! No, this is my Delulu playthrough. It's in... I own the word Delulu. It is my name. My name is literally in it. You cannot spell Delulu without Lulu.
What do you mean, in my way? What way is that?
The way where I don't take all the blame.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
Have fun.
Oh, if it isn't, the lovely Grace?
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
Oh. Weird scene.
Yes. She asked for the
Choice.
key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I told you I didn't know what happened to Calliope, and that's the truth.
Weird?
I did not. So I nudged you in the right direction.
This is literally the same. I think it's like... I think it's glitched because I had... You can have somebody else show up with you to talk to Medusa. In which case, the previous scene wouldn't happen and this would happen instead. So I'm assuming that it's just like glitched and you get the same scene twice. I don't remember what I said, actually.
And lied about why?
I omitted things, yes. I was rather hoping to avoid suspicion falling my way.
I've never lied to you, Grace, and I never shall.
Medusa learned that Calliope was going to the reliquary because I told her. Now, before you say anything, I had no idea of the fate awaiting our dear muse. And you yourself said Medusa was not responsible. I simply had to know if I'd inadvertently, rather innocently...
Sold her out? She came to you for help, and you gave her whereabouts to the highest bidder.
I am trying to help, Grace. In my way.
What do you mean, in
The
my
dialogue
way?
is
What
just
what-
slightly different.
What way is that?
The way where I don't take all the blame.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
Interesting. I guess I'll go talk to Persephone again? Because it's still there as an option.
Back again so soon, Grace? You're practically a regular at the club. Did you end up finding Medusa? Or did she vanish the moment you came near, like she does with every other idol?
She definitely did not vanish. Maybe I better explain what happened.
I knew it. We never should have brought that monster to the New World.
Rude!
He was a fool to think Medusa can be controlled. You're fortunate to have made it out in one piece. It could have gone very poorly for you.
I'm Team Medusa. Oh my god, I can still romance her. That's so funny. I actually forgot what she said last.
It could have, sure, but it didn't.
That's a rather cavalier attitude for someone who so clearly wants to live.
Hey, gets things done.
I suppose the important part is that Medusa has been exonerated, but Pan has not. I don't imagine you've confronted him yet.
He admitted to selling out Calliope, but not to killing her. I don't know if I can believe him.
Nor I. Pan would do anything to save his own skin. Allow me some time to consider our next move. On a different matter, I've had time to do some thinking. I may have been too dismissive after Aphrodite's party. You no doubt have many questions about the Eidolon and Calliope's memories.
Apollo told me a little about it. He did say I should talk to you, though.
Did he now? Is there anything you'd like
I was about to say, I'll believe anything that Pan tells me. As long as he's using that voice. I'm easily impressed.
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
First, you'll have dreams. Places you've never been, people you've never met. But unlike with normal dreams, these will linger. Then they will come while you're awake. Sudden flashes or snippets of déjà vu. And sometimes it will seem so real you'll swear you're hallucinating. If there's anything difficult about the process, is that it becomes hard to differentiate between your life and all these other lives you're now recalling.
It does sound confusing.
Confusing and often unpleasant, as not all the memories will be fond ones. But that will pass in time.
The question that I do have, though, is when does it happen? Like, when after you become a god, an idol, whatever, how long does it take for those memories to start popping up for you?
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Oh, how do I explain this? Grace, would you say that you are who you are because of your experiences? The things you've lived and done?
I guess so, sure.
Well, all the things Calliope has done, and those before her, will now be yours. They will feel like a part of your life as well. Thus, they can't help but shape you. The Grace that is now will be and will have done so much more. Fortunately, you don't have to deal with every memory. Each time the Eidolon passes on, the oldest memories fade, and that helps.
Okay, hold on. So the oldest memories fade, and you only retain everything, like, after that. First of all, as a psych girly, I like that because it's kind of adhering to biology. But because there's only so much information that your brain can, like, store and process and stuff. Like, if we were to absorb every single piece of information that we've ever learned, our computer up here would just nope out and not function. Anyways, but if that's the case, then that means Aphrodite would just have to reincarnate enough times for those extremely traumatic memories that she has, that she suffers from, for those to disappear. No? Like, if it works like that, then the more often Aphrodite reincarnates, the better it'll be for, I guess, like, the traumatic memories for the new Aphrodite.
Wait, how is it good that old memories start to fade?
Think of how old we are, Grace. If all those memories returned to you with perfect clarity, they would destroy you.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you've all forgotten so much?
Well, far more than we remember. The further I think back, the more it becomes a bit of a blur, actually. You'll recall important moments. Some will be mixed up with the stories mortals tell, and you won't be sure which is the memory and which is the story. An idol's memory is a series of islands in a dark ocean, and they become smaller and smaller as they recede into the horizon. It sounds dire, but you become accustomed to it. It just takes time, and now you have all the time in the world.
Oh, fun question to ask.
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
We call it passing on. I've lost track of just how many times I've passed on my Eidolon. A dozen? It's happened less often in more recent eras.
And the one you told me about, the woman married to that gangster, she was the most recent?
I don't think of Chastity as a she. That was me, just as the one my husband blasted with a shotgun was also me.
Confusing.
It was one of the few times I wasn't able to prepare my successor. We were friends, yes, but I didn't know what Persephone was, and I had no idea what I'd just become.
That must have been difficult.
I mean,
It
52 was so
taking over
recent.
my dead husband's territory. Women weren't often mobsters in those days.
You know?
Were you really a gangster? I've heard it said, but it sounds...
Let me put it this way. I felt as if I'd been blessed by a dying woman who saved me from a prison of my own making. I didn't know what I was.
I love
but
Persephone.
I was free. I felt more alive than I'd ever felt before, and strong enough to toss an ox 10 feet. Did I set out to become a mobster? Not exactly. My husband's friends thought I'd murdered him, however, so they came after me. And one thing led to another.
Oh, I see.
Athena found me just as my memories were starting to return. I wasn't permitted to continue doing something so noticeable, so I was carted off to Olympus.
Wait.
It's too bad, really. I was an excellent
So she continued to be a mobster even after she took the place of the old Persephone? And the gods didn't, like, find her immediately? Okay.
Wait, you said that Persephone passed on her eidolon as she lay dying. What if she had just died?
The eidolon will keep us alive for a time, even in the most horrific circumstances, in hopes that there's someone to pass it on to.
What if there isn't? What if Chastity had died before you were shot?
Well, then the line of Persephone would have ended then and there. Oh, there are some stories that say an eidolon will go wandering, that it never really dies. And who knows if there's any truth to that. It's not exactly something we've had the opportunity to study. All we know is that many idols...
I mean, it
have
makes
left us
sense that she
forever.
doesn't...
They've died, and that's how it happens.
It's a lot to consider.
That they
Assuming we'll
didn't
even have
find
time
her
to
because...
worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Either the trial will end poorly, in which case all of this is moot, or it will end well, and you will have plenty of time to digest.
Yeah, thanks for the update.
I'm a realist, Grace. It's what I'm best at.
Okay.
Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
So... Oh my god, there's more? So... That kind of aligns, though, with what was said to me about all of the other gods, I guess. Like, I think it was when we talked to Freddie, they were talking about how there might be gods in, like, fucking Australia, and they just wouldn't know. So I guess they don't have, like, a god detection sense. Which, honestly, is an oversight. A design flaw, if you will.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
We were.
And
if you had told me a decade ago that I would become close to one of the muses, I would have laughed in your face. I always considered them Apollo's creatures. Calliope, Clio, and Talia. Vapid, frivolous gods who handed off their eidolon to any artist who took their fancy. Every time I met one of them, they were someone else. Apollo called them the Sisters of Beauty, no matter their gender. Can you imagine that? That's such a stupid name.
I never thought of that.
It is a stupid name.
Do idols change gender a lot?
Well, we tend to seek out successors like ourselves, but it happens. With the muses, it happened frequently. Everywhere Apollo went, they surrounded him like a gaggle of ducklings, just like him to gather.
I was about to say, that sounds like he had, like, he had groupies.
If you disliked the muses so much, how did you end up becoming friends with Calliope?
She sought me out. She'd become more and more unhappy on Olympus, so she decided to leave just as I had, long before.
A K-pop
Calliope
idol.
asked for my help, and I laughed in her face. Go ask one of your sycophant mortals, I told her. I mean, surely one of them has some threadbare couch you can sleep on.
Wow.
Typically, she was undeterred. She didn't just want a place to stay. She said she wanted to learn how to be truly independent from an idol who had mastered it. What can I say? I mean, I am a sucker for a well-timed compliment. I took her in.
Okay.
Apollo was
You just have to butter
He and
her
Calliope were
up.
barely speaking,
Noted.
but he was certain she'd come crawling back to Olympus.
Got it.
Oh, it made taking her in all the sweeter.
So
after you took Calliope
Paula
in,
was
that's when you became
mad.
friends?
Oh, no, not right away. I wasn't looking for a friend. What I was looking for was an opening act in the club. Calliope entertained here for years, and then eventually turned from performing to attracting new acts. She was in her element. She and I, well, we warmed up to each other eventually. She was more capable than I expected.
It must be
I adored her furious rants.
Calliope didn't seem like the
so
furious
difficult
type when I met her. That's hard to picture.
Oh, then you didn't really meet her.
to stay in one place for that long.
And nobody could ever quite
And just like never change appearance. Never age.
Her brothers and sisters, least of all. The idols needed to change, she said. They were withering away in the shadows, diminished and unwilling to save their own skins. When I joined the chorus, she expected me to change everything, as if I could single-handedly override Athena. I was to be her champion, and together we would bring revolution to the idols.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I was yet another disappointment. She left the club, but I gave her a place to live. We were supposed to stay in touch, but you know how it went from there.
What happened to the other muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
One of them was, though not like you think. The day we were to leave on the ship, Talia simply never showed up.
I'm telling you.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never heard from her
They
again.
should have like a
Apollo
god
thrashed
detection
about her
system.
mourning, but I mean, Talia had been
A god
fading away for
GPS.
years. It wasn't a surprise to the rest of us.
What about the other muse? Cleo.
Died long before. A victim at the hands of a mortal man, when she no longer possessed the power to bedazzle him. As I understand it, he kept her in a cage as a pet until her eidolon shriveled up and perished. It was dead before she was.
Ugh, that's pretty dark.
That is dark.
Yes, well, we come by our wariness of mortals honestly, Grace.
Yikes.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
What constitutes a little more in this instance?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
Ah, the big question. To which the answer is, nobody knows. I remember the original Persephone only vaguely. Indeed, I'm not even certain she was the original. Was there something before her? How did she get her eidolon?
I mean,
couldn't tell you.
that also helps.
Evidently, we wrote little down in those early days, or were forbidden to. And our memories only stretch back so far.
In this
Even
case, the
beyond
memory is only reaching a
that
certain
isn't.
point. Really helps in this case. Like, you don't have to answer all the big questions.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Aliens? Grace, you watch too many movies.
Gods are okay, but aliens are just wacky fiction.
Fine, yes. It is strange. No, our earliest days aren't the only blanks in our memories, however. We have many. And the last was the day Zeus called us all together to tell us Rome had fallen and we should prepare for war. But did that war occur? I couldn't tell you. The last thing I remember after Rome was 1,000 years later, in the 16th century. I was in a different body, feeling as if no time at all had passed. Athena calls that period the gap. That's what it feels like. All of us experienced it, and not one of us knows why or how.
Interesting. All of this has to be relevant to the story, no?
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...?
I wasn't asleep. I lived. I had
Like, maybe it has something to do with what Calliope was doing in the Relinquery.
What I was, but perhaps I was completely unaware. All I know is that one day, Athena came to my nunnery, near Trieste, I think. The moment that I saw her, all the old memories came flooding back. My life during the gap was wiped away in an instant, and it never returned. If someone did that to us, they were powerful indeed.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena woke up on her own, or so she claims, and spent the next century rounding up
How
those idols who
convenient.
remained. Zeus, however, was gone. What became of him, what happened in Rome, we've never pieced it together. It's troubling.
Tell me more about the war. It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
Athena, like, gets
From
more
Aphrodite's
sus
song, I know Ares betrayed
with every
everyone.
conversation.
What did you do?
Moo.
Honestly, after my mother was murdered, I barely remember.
Your mother?
Ares.
Her name was Demeter. Not truly my mother, but an idol who had always cared for me since the early days. I thought we'd be together forever. Then Ares brought those filthy bastards down on us. Demeter was slain by bullets. By bullets. Until that day, I believed we were untouchable.
It does. That's good. Hopefully, the texture pop-in isn't, or is also a little bit better. Ares is an asshole as per usual. Yeah.
Why would Ares do that? Did he get anything out of it in the end, or...?
What he got was a final death. A few of us hunted him down and made sure he paid for his betrayal. He choked on his own blood. As for why he did it, who knows? He thought us
Speaking
a
of
lost
choking on
cause.
blood,
He wanted glory.
I can't wait to play
More than we had.
Baldur's Gate
Living in secret. After that, I don't know. We went from hiding place
later.
to hiding place. I didn't even know what Hephaestus had done for us when I found myself on a boat. We might have been gods once, but after the war, we were just refugees, like so many others, fleeing to a distant land.
Was it hard for the idols to come to the New World? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't the place that was hard, it was the fear. We knew we were vulnerable.
So
We knew
what
mortals
if
could and would kill us?
one of the gods that
rules.
disappeared
We
is
had to be
back, like
secret. We had to
Ares, for
stay close
example?
together. We huddled in the shadows and
I doubt
cried each
it's
time the mortals
Ares.
so much as breathed in our direction. We couldn't all live that way.
But like
Some
one
of
of
us
if
drifted
what if
away,
one of the
faded
old
into
gods
the
is
night
back?
without so much as an explanation.
The one that's been gone.
That's what's been the hard part. Our inevitable decline in a place where we don't belong.
Yeah, that's what
We
I'm
can
like.
pass on our
They
islands
keep
as often as we
mentioning
like,
really like a lot of
we'll never
power,
truly
and
be home.
they also mention Zeus, and like they said that they don't know where Zeus has been. like, they don't know if he died or what the situation was.
Are you willing to talk about Hades? If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just
incredibly curious how I ended up murdering my husband.
Yes.
That, yeah.
You know, one might
I will
think
be
that
nothing but
Hades
supportive, Queen.
began when he kidnapped me and forced me to be his bride. But honestly, that wasn't it. I hated my brothers and sisters for letting it happen, but Hades himself terrified me. He had a presence. I mean, one that forever made him the most important man in the room. And me? Oh, I was nothing in comparison. When Hades began doting on me, trying to earn my favor, I swooned that he might deign to think of me that way. For centuries, I actually thought I was in love, that the kidnapping was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Ooh!
It's funny.
Oh, she got Stockholmed.
Change.
If you got along with Hades for so long, what changed?
I did. I grew up. I was a trophy for Hades. A conquest that he expected to remain meek and unchanging forever. He went out of his way to keep me small. I slowly realized that, he'd always been that way. Manipulation and arrogance behind the handsome
Alexa,
sneer.
play Goddess by Banks.
For centuries. I hated him, and I told him so, but he refused to part with me. He declared that I was his and would stay in the underworld.
No, I am on her team 100%. I would have killed him too.
When you killed him?
That's when I killed him. Yes. The first time one idol had ever murdered another. Thank you very much.
She's so proud of it. I love her.
I'm guessing the other idols weren't thrilled with you killing Hades.
Well, yeah, they didn't know what to do with me.
Banks is one of my
And
favorite
Athena was
artists.
Furious that the most powerful remaining idol had been lost. See, this was before the war and before all the new rules. The chorus had never once contemplated execution, but they certainly considered it then. In the end, they decided it was better to humiliate me. They ensured I did not benefit from Hades' murder, and stripped the throne I had wrested from his grasp.
Which you weren't happy about.
I asked them where they were all those years while I pleaded for help. I was held captive, and what was I expected to do? What, lie down and take it forever because Hades was more useful to them alive? No. I stopped doing what was expected of me the day I slit his throat. May rot in Tartarus with the Titans.
All the women that are being, like, accused of like, terrible crimes were completely justified. Medusa, who's basically Athena's slave. Persephone, who killed Hades.
How did you go from ruling the underworld to opening a nightclub named after it?
I won it in a bet with Dionysus, god of merriment.
Okay, there has to be a story there.
Well, the story is that he was a fool, but a charming one with many patrons. They built him a nightclub as his personal playground. And it was a grand old time for Dionysus in the 1970s, I assure you. But he didn't know how to run a business. By the time disco was ready,
I actually never realized that that's how you say it in English. Dionysus.
I offered to make it profitable. If I succeeded, he would turn ownership over to me. He accepted because, frankly, all he wanted to do was drink anyhow. I was successful. The club became mine, and I kicked Dionysus out for never paying his tab.
Okay, girl boss.
Sucks to be him.
Dionysus ever sobers up, he might decide to be sore about it, but so far, that hasn't happened.
What's the deal between you and Apollo? The way you two fight.
I've told you how he and the other idols stood by and let me rot with Hades, did I not?
It seems more personal than that.
Okay, there's an old saying that no one escapes the underworld. But that's not true. I did.
I
once.
So feel
Not long
you,
after Hades
Annalena.
kidnapped me. I was homesick, and I missed my mother. Charon took pity on me and allowed me across the Styx. And after that, Grace, I waded through darkness itself to get out of there.
Oh, I love her.
Hades chased after me relentlessly, but I evaded him, right up until I got to the very slopes of Olympus. And who do you suppose was the first idol I met?
Uh-oh.
Apollo stood there. I cried out to him, begging him not to let Hades take me, and yet Apollo did as he has always done. Absolutely.
Very man of him.
Hades was thrilled. And I knew then and there I could never rely on my so-called family for anything, ever again.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
What an exit.
That's where I'll be. Around.
Dionysus. I hate that pronunciation, to be honest. I'm praying, Lotta. I'm praying. I think we're starting day 6 now.
Oh!
Hi, Hermes!
Hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my name. Where's Freddy?
Why are they there?
We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
Waited? Were you looking for me?
All over, yeah. Athena sent me to find you, but it wasn't easy. Yeah, you must have been busy.
Yeah, because I stand trial soon.
Right. Right, that makes sense. Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
Is Hermes just like another one of Athena's servants?
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, you know, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any 2 doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
Hermes really is just such a fun character design. That's why I'm like, they look like they're dressed exactly like just a K-pop idol. Like they were plucked right out of like NCT or like EXO.
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day.
Oh, right. Yeah, Hermes hasn't been Hermes in that long. So they probably haven't received the memories yet.
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the
They're
old
the
Hermes used to say
only-
that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
They're the only person there who said that Athena is nice.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena enter the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
Your PC was beeping at you the other day. And the only thing that was wrong with it was that the monitor just wasn't connected. No, we literally talked about this at the beginning of the stream, I think. The amount of times that I go to, like, play my Switch, and I dock it, and I'm convinced for like 5 minutes that my capture card is broken again, and then it turns out that I just forgot to hook the charger up to my dock. And that's why it's not working.
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
What if it was Athena, like, on Athena's orders? But Athena didn't kill Calliope. It was somebody else, technically speaking, but it was on Athena's orders. Because she seems to be, like, ordering everybody around.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddy, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
That's nice. Although I am a little suspicious anytime someone is nice to me. Like, immediately from the get-go. Oh, I get to pick differently now. I'm gonna pick clever this time.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
Well, you said I'm supposed to prove my innocence. No, it's not the end. It's only day 6. Or like the end of day 5.
But you know what happened there. That's where Calliope was attacked.
Yet it's not where she died, Grace, is it?
So because she made it all the way to my apartment, we shouldn't care why she was bleeding to death along the way.
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Like you care about Medusa?
Like you care about Medusa?
She tried to eat me. It's not her fault. She's hungry. What do you want her to starve?
She lives like that because you cursed her. Have you even tried to undo it? I'm betting not, because she's useful like this, and that's where your caring ends.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him.
Wait a minute. I literally just please tell me that the helmet that's on her desk is Ares' helmet. Cause that's like literally as I walked into the office, I was like, is that Ares' helmet? And now she's showing Zeus's crown.
Into the ether. Poseidon was next, walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares.
He's just he's playing mermaid.
Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered, and by one of our own. The list goes on.
So you add to it?
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I
didn't like that face at all.
All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Does it matter? You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
Gave it to me? Athena, I had that key all along.
You what?
It's just like you thought. I used it to attack Calliope that night. Then I brought her back home to finish her off. A mortal with a plan, baby. Stole my way into godhood. Watch me roar.
That's not funny, Grace.
What's
Is it not?
funny is that you thought I'd tell you without getting anything in return. Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, The night Calliope died. Would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
Something is massively off with Girly Pop. She's a little sus. And she keeps getting more sus with every conversation that I have with people.
Alright, let's talk about Medusa.
Again, if you wish. What of her?
I keep looking at the time and it's 18 past 9, so I really should stop, but I don't want to. I want to keep going.
Was I right? That you haven't even tried to undo the curse that you inflicted on her?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
Yeah, don't push the blame
What
on
is it that you would have
a
me do
previous
exactly?
Athena.
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know. Now, if there isn't anything else?
What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected
I mean, I'm
to
gonna
hear.
finish
Been
this
sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions.
Day.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I wish
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
Sort of. But I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
Okay, that's it.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Is there a way to lose this game? Like, can
Good
I
luck.
not
Feel free
find
to take a
the
cookie
killer
on
at the
your way
end?
out.
Or is it gonna be a thing of I can just accuse whoever I want to accuse?
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she believes that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
It was a bit much, dragging me into her office just to complain about the investigation she forced
Yeah.
me into. What could she hope to achieve? That I'd stop trying?
Maybe she just wanted to find out what you know.
I imagine she simply wanted to remind you not to rock the boat as you bail. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh. What now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
Ooh.
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
And she's correct.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
That's what I'm trying to think. Hecate should know something.
To remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her,
interesting.
Flashes, feelings.
You want Grace to go to the reliquaries?
Also, can we please appreciate the picture in the back that's on the wall of Freddy and Grace? And Grace has like the 2005 scene hair. Iconic.
So she can have deja vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Yes! Heist!
A week ago, I would have said breaking.
Well, it's not really a heist if you're not stealing anything, but... Breaking and entering! Woo!
Surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
Okay, see, I am, in general, more of a... It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission kind of person. So, I support this.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work after the transition, but no, I'm not certain. You want certainty? Wait until your trial. Without discovering more, the outcome of that is certain.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions regarding how we might go about doing that?
Deja vu it is.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of who attacked Calliope, or why she was there. Anything we could work with. I've spoken to almost all the idols, and every single one says they hadn't seen or heard from her. If she was keeping to herself, then why now? What started this? We're missing something important, Grace.
What if Grace goes there and the memory she sees is that she attacked Calliope?
It is smooth.
A Grace from the future. It'd be a twist.
I already mentioned it in last stream. But the audio is very badly leveled. Like all of the voices, like even for characters, when someone's talking, sometimes one sentence will be louder or quieter than the rest of them. And I don't understand why that is.
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
That's because we are desperate, Grace. Either we take this shot at learning the truth, or we overthrow Athena and the chorus by force, and disregard this stupid trial.
She's joking, right? She's joking, right?
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Let's go sleep.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by.
She
Now, that
grabbed
doesn't
my
mean you should
hand.
take stupid risks. Don't be a fool, Grace.
Maybe if things between me and Pan don't work out and he turns out to be a murderer.
Why not? My life's on the line either way.
Come on, the time for adventure is now.
Oh, this will not end well. I know it.
Okay. I'm sorry for another cliffhanger, but I gotta go.